So does NASCAR have a Toyota problem? I think so. They've won 3 out of the first 4 races in the last 2 years. They're leading the manufacturer standings. There's no slowing down this manufacturer in 2020. Welcome to my channel. My name is John, the Motorsports Enthusiast. Today, I'm going to discuss why Toyota is a problem for Chevrolet and Ford going into the rest of the season, even though we're only 4 races in. Let's break down some of the recent results in 2026 so far, look back at what happened in previous history at the next track we're going to, Las Vegas, and see what could potentially happen as we go into the future. So let's work our way backwards a little bit. Here are the results from Phoenix. Christopher Bell finishes in 2nd, Ty Gibbs in 4th, Denny Hamlin in 5th, Bubba Wallace in 6th, Tyler Reddick in 8th, and Eric Jones in 10th. That's 6 Toyotas in the top 10. 60% of the top 10 is made up by Toyotas. You have Joe Gibbs, 2311, and then Legacy Motor Club. To be honest, Christopher Bell had this race won. It would have been 4 for 4 for Toyota in 2026, which we haven't seen in a very long time. Now, comparing this to last year, we saw William Byron win the Daytona 500 in the Chevrolet, then Christopher Bell go on a 3-race win streak for the very first 4 races, making last year very comparable to the start of this year. Looking back at the results for Circuit of the Americas, you saw Tyler Reddick in 1st, Christopher Bell in 3rd, Ty Gibbs in 4th, and Denny Hamlin in 5th. Only 4 Toyotas in the top 10, but this race was dominated by Tyler Reddick. He led 58 laps. He was up front all day long. Tyler Reddick has been the guy to beat so far. He looked like he possibly could be on for a 4th win at Phoenix, but obviously that didn't happen. Then when you look at Atlanta, Toyota, top 2 finishing positions with Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, with Bubba Wallace finishing in 8th. Only 3 Toyotas in the top 10. And then when you look back at the Daytona 500, you have Tyler Reddick up there in 1st, Riley Herbst in 8th, and Bubba Wallace in 10th. So only 3 Toyotas in the top 10. If you're keeping up with this math here, starting with the Daytona 500, there were 3 Toyotas in the top 10. At Echo Park, there were 3. At COTA, there were 4. Then at Phoenix, there were 6. So we are seeing Toyota gain a lot of momentum going into a track that they have not had previous success in. Let's talk about Las Vegas. Here are some previous results at Las Vegas. If you notice here, a lot of it is filled with Ford. A lot of it is filled, actually just primarily with Ford. But one manufacturer you see right here is Toyota. Martin Truex Jr. in 2019, Martin Truex Jr. again in 2017, and then Matt Kenseth in 2013 with Kyle Busch finishing it off in 2009. One trend that I have noticed here is that when Toyota wins a race at Las Vegas, they win every 4th race, essentially. So you have Toyota here in 2009, Chevrolet, Ford, Chevrolet, Toyota. Then again, another 3 races pass by and Toyota wins again. Ford, Chevrolet, Ford, Toyota. Again, the trend continues for a 3rd time. Ford, Chevrolet, that's a Ford, 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 Toyota. Then if you look at the trend again, you have Ford 2020, Chevrolet 2020. Spring of 2021, you have Kyle Larson. And then fall of 2021, another 3 races go by and Toyota wins again. Now the trend did start to break between 2022 and spring of 2025, but Toyota grabbed a victory in the fall of 2025. So with how this trend has shown, it's purely manufacturer, it's purely just what I'm seeing with some of the numbers and data here. This spring race probably will not be won by Toyota. Or will it be? When you look at the last 6 races at Las Vegas, you see a few drivers' names make their way to the top. One of the most important drivers is Christopher Bell. He has 4 top 5s, 4 top 10s, 5 top 20s, had led 216 laps, which puts him 3rd overall, average starting position of 6.3, which puts him 4th, best finish of 2nd, lowest finish of 31st, and his average finish of 9.5, putting him at 4th overall. Now, we can't count Martin Truex Jr. He is not obviously racing now. But one other thing that we can look at, too, are other Toyota drivers that are up here in the top 5 category. You have Tyler Reddick, 5th most top 5s out of active drivers. Ty Gibbs, technically, 8th or 9th most top 5s out of active drivers? It has been a Chevrolet-heavy track. Kyle Larson, 4 top 5s. William Byron, 1 win, 3 top 5s. Kyle Larson obviously has 2 wins there. Ross Chastain, 3 top 5s. Tyler Reddick, obviously we covered him, but Alex Bowman, 2 top 5s. Daniel Suarez, 2 top 5s. So historically, in the last 6 races, this has not been a race that Toyota has had a lot of guys finish up near the front. The best odds that they have is Christopher Bell, and I think this is why Toyota can win this week. I think Christopher Bell might actually even be my race pick. I think they could go back to back. Christopher Bell, 100% I believe, could have won Phoenix. Probably should have won Phoenix. The Toyotas are fast. We know they're going to be really quick all over the place. We don't know what this Chevrolet is going to do at a true mile and a half yet, and because of that, Christopher Bell has the best shot to win this weekend at Las Vegas, breaking this Vegas curse. They have not gone back-to-back at Las Vegas ever. In the last 17 years, in 25 races, they have not won back-to-back races at Las Vegas. Now, with how hot Tyler Reddick has been, I think Tyler Reddick will also be up there. Also, take a look at Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe. Those are other drivers that I think you could see potentially make their way up to the top. But one thing I want to focus on is this DNF number. Tyler Reddick has 1 DNF. That's what I'm a little bit worried about here, and he hasn't finished in the top 5 as much as a Christopher Bell. So for Toyota to continue this streak and to make it even a bigger problem, Christopher Bell is going to have to be the driver to get it done in Las Vegas. What's also interesting about this Las Vegas stat is that you're seeing drivers that are typically up front at traditional mile and a halves not be up there in the Toyota camp. Denny Hamlin, he has 13 top 5s in his last 30 intermediate style tracks. Tyler Reddick has 12. Christopher Bell has 12. Chase Briscoe has 8. Bubba Wallace has 7. Looking through the rest of the list here, Martin Truex Jr. obviously not in that 19 car anymore. He had 4. So when you look at these stats and compare this over to the averages, where is Denny Hamlin on this list? Yeah, he has 1 win, but he only has 1 top 5. That is concerning. There's a big discrepancy with him finishing in the top 10 than finishing in the top 5. That's what makes me a little bit worried about Denny Hamlin. And with Denny Hamlin coming off a strong day in Phoenix, I think he could very well be battling up here. But you got to look at the drivers who have been the most successful here overall. You have Kyle Larson, average finish of 4.3. Ross Chastain, average finish of 9.3. Daniel Suarez, 10.2. William Byron, 10.3. And then you have Denny Hamlin right there with a 10.5, very heavily due to that race that he had in the win, when he got the win last fall. And when you look at the drivers who have led the most laps here, it's Hendrick 1-2, Kyle Larson leading 568, William Byron leading 258, and then you also have 3 wins, 3 Hendrick Motorsports wins out of the last 6. They win 50% of the time in the last 6 races. So if Toyota is going to continue their dominance and continue this stranglehold they have in the NASCAR Cup Series, they're going to have to beat Hendrick Motorsports. Let me know, do you think Toyota can continue this dominance in the NASCAR Cup Series? I very well think so, because I think Christopher Bell is going to have a huge chip on his shoulder. Arguably should have won the race in Phoenix. I think he's going to come out very, very strong, lead a lot of laps, be up front all race long, probably win stage 1 and maybe even stage 2, and try to get the sweep and win the race. Let me know your thoughts on the race in Las Vegas coming up this weekend, and let me know who your pick is to win. My name is John, the Motorsports Enthusiast. Thanks for watching. If you want to get more motorsport and NASCAR content just like this, hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting a lot more long form. I focus a lot on short form, so just look up the Motorsport Enthusiast anywhere you get your social content. I'll be there. I want to focus more on the long form YouTube stuff because it's really fun. I love doing it. I can sit here and yap longer and get a little bit more detailed and show my screen. So I'm going to be creating a lot more content around that. Thank you for watching.